My name is Phil, and welcome to Phil Does Just Chat. No, Phil Does 3D, despite what you people are saying in the chat. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist, and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. That is midday in Australia, or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls had a great weekend and you're all well. Remember guys, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch page. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, Phil Does 3D. So YouTube/Phil Does 3D. We're going to continue working on a game called The House in the Hollow, which you can wishlist now on Steam. Just go to the About Me section of my Twitch page and you can find a link in the panels in that section. That'll take you to the Steam store page. Remember to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server if you want to show off your artwork in the gallery. I love showing the stuff that you guys are doing. Yeah, Sniper Girl says Phil Does Just Chat is coming on. Hellforge says he occasionally does some 3D, once in a blue moon kind of thing. Sniper Girl says lies, he just chats. It's good to see you both. I hope you're well. Hellforge, the Sniper Girl says to Hellforge, should I be mean and use my points for a 5 minute silence and second he comes live? No, you know how hard that is for me to do, not being able to talk for 5 minutes, because you know I'm such a motor mouth. You can't shut me up. And we had the chat stream, that was last week. So remember, at the end of every month, the last stream of each month is just a chat stream with Phil. So you got 4 weeks of me doing 3D and mostly chat. No, doing mostly 3D and some chat. And then there's a just chat stream at the end of the month. Alford says, could do it when he does an actual just chat stream instead. That'll make for a really interesting stream to watch, wouldn't it? Phil does just chat and I get timed out for 5 minutes and do nothing. No 3D, just sit here, stare at the camera. You are mean, as Euro says. Yes, meanies. They are meanies. Good to see you, Euro. Hope you're well. Sniper Girl says it'll be funny to see his reaction if he starts saying hi and everything, and bam, silence. You people are cruel. You are so cruel. Oh man. Euro says, finish my contract work, now gaming and sleeping mostly for a bit. Sounds good. Can't get too much gaming. Sniper Girl says, no clue why I'm a mod. Yes, I'm questioning that as well, Sniper Girl. Sniper Girl's asking Euro how the contract went. Hellforge says no clue either. I just showed up one day and bam, sword. He's talking about being a mod. That's because you've proven yourself so helpful, Hellforge. That's why. All you guys that are, and girls that are mods for my channel, I only mod people that I think will be good for the channel, and you're all great people in your own right, and you're all good 3D people as well. So that's why you got modded. But as quickly as you can get it, I can take it away. Alford says, great to hear Euro. Euro says it was just 3D modelling, UVs and base maps for hundreds of items. Been doing it since around this time last year. Hey, listen, how long have I been working on this game with the studio? Well, prior to the game, you guys know I was doing the cinematic. So I've been working on the same thing for years as well. Euro says they got their own texture guy. Okay. Sniper Girl says, wow, sounds like a lot of work. Euro says it was broken up into lots of, so easier to manage. Thank you, Hellforge. If you want to join the Discord server, click the link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat right now. If you want to wishlist the game, click the link that's in Twitch chat as well. And if you want to find out more about me, click the link in Twitch chat. But you can just use my Twitch username, PhilDoes3D, and put a .com on the end of it. That'll take you to my website, where you can read up about me if you really want to. Euro says Phil does stuff sometimes. That's right. Hey to you as well, Hellforge. Sniper Girl says, I don't know what you're talking about. Smurfberry. Where's Smurf? There's Smurf. It's Smurfberry. Smurfberry's in the house. Watch out, Smurfberry's here. It's good to see you, Smurf. Hope you had a good weekend. Sorry about last week, guys. It was meetings back to back, so I had to have meetings with both studios. I hate meetings. I don't know about you guys, but man, do I hate meetings. I get they're important, but man, I hate them. I really hate them. Because I'd rather be doing 3D work, not sitting around a table talking. Well, I like talking, but you know, I can't do 3D at the same time if I'm in a meeting. Ford says, hey to Smurf says, I had this painter scene open all day and I did one thing to adjust a mask. Not to mention leaving your painter scene open while you're playing Valheim, wasn't it? You said in the Discord server. You didn't realise you had painter open in the background while you're playing your game. Did that affect performance at all? I'm just curious. Usually, I think with most of these applications, like I have Max and Substance Painter minimised at the moment. And I think if they're minimised, they probably don't take up much resources. I mean, memory maybe, but... So it's taken you a whole day and you did a mask. Well done, Spurberry. Well, at least that's progress. That's something. Yura says, I haven't been in Painter in ages. Why? Painter is good. Not as good as Mari, but Painter is good. Smurf says, Phil does just mime things. Thank you, Hellforge. I do have a Twitter account as well, so if you want to know when I am live, even though it never changes unless I have to not stream for some reason, I'm live every Monday and Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. But if you follow my Twitter page at PhilDoes3D, I do always post when I go live. So if you need a reminder that way, follow me on Twitter and you'll get a reminder when I go live. You can click the link that Hellforge just popped into chat. Smurf says, still waiting for Phil to do something. Oh man, I did one more thing than Phil did. You did. Well, at least so far you've done one more thing than me. Hey, listen, I had a productive weekend. I got a lot done, so it was good. Hellforge says, good job. Euro says, because my contract work only needed baked base maps, I do my baking in Marmoset Toolbag. I do my baking in 3D Studio Max. Actually, Max's new bake tool, Bake to Texture, is really, really good. You used to use Render to Texture, but now they have this new Bake to Texture, and it's actually very good. So this is new to Max 2020, I think, and I'm using Max 2021. So yeah, I bake out everything in Max. But Marmoset's good as well. Actually, sometimes I bake out in Painter as well, Substance Painter. Sniper Girl says, back, were you still on the intro screen? You're all going to get a slap because you're all just being really slap-worthy this morning. That's for all of you, except for Smurfberry. Smurfberry's been good, but everybody else has been bad. And Euro's been good too. So that's for Hellforge and Sniper Girl. You get a shared slap. Sniper Girl says, almost 10 minutes later and no work. Hey, come on. We're going to continue working on the kitchen for the House on the Hollow game. We've started texturing these pieces up. Now, they deserved it. Yes, they did deserve it, Euro. You're exactly right, they did. Hellforge says, how do you spell that many software? How do you spell that Mari software you mentioned? Mari is spelled M-A-R-I. It's by a company called The Foundry. They're an English studio. It's used in film. If you work in films, which I used to, it's used a lot in film. There is no limit on texture sizes, basically. That's why a lot of film studios like to use it, because things like Substance Painter are really great software for games development and for some ArchViz work. But if you're working in film, you need textures that are bigger than 8K, and at the moment Substance Painter only can export out to 8K size textures. Whereas Mari, there is no limit. You can go as big as your memory can fit. So it's used in film a lot. So it's like Mari. It's like Substance Painter. Sort of. Yeah, sort of. But you can use really large textures. Yep, Mari. That's it. Euro's just popped it there. And it has actually, it's expensive software, but they have what they call what do they call it? Not a freelance version, but there's a version of it that's completely free, completely functional. The only limitation is they don't let you export past, I think, it's either 4 or 8K textures in the free version. But aside from that, it's completely the same as the paid version. In the paid version, you can export, there's no limit on the texture size. But so if you do want to check it out and use it, download it, install it, because it is free to use, but the free version only up to 4 or 8K, I can't remember which. But if you're making game stuff, 4K is generally as big as you want to go anyway, usually. Healthwood says, my English fails me harder than usual. Sniper Girl says, just doing my job as a mod. I mean, you're a masochist after all. That's exactly right, I am. I must be, to have you as my moderator. One of my moderators. Smurfberry says, how many years has it been? And Painter still can't do more. I know. What's up with that? Maybe now that Adobe have taken over, they'll do something. Yeah, Adobe, who knows? Yeah, but it's been the limit of 8K on Substance Painter has been there for a very long time. At least you have UDIMs now in Substance Painter. That's something. Of course, UDIM has always been standard in Mari. Helpwood says, a student license? I think Houdini got one of those. Yeah, it's not a student license. I can't remember what they call it. Let me have a look. So again, my website, phildoes3d.com. If you want to know about me, there's links to my social media and all that down the bottom. Google. It's not called a freelance version because you're not paying for it. Mari. It's by the Foundry. Let me know if there are any quirks with the stream, guys, because I'm on that newer, faster plan now with my internet service provider. So now I have a gigabyte connection going out to the world. They're doing it the upgrade to it. Normally I wouldn't have got it because it was too expensive, but they're doing a special deal at the moment where for 6 months you get it at a greatly reduced price. So for the next 6 months, I'm trialing this gigabyte connection, fiber connection. So yeah, free trial, because yeah, there's two. You do have to fill this in, but just give them any old rubbish if you don't want them to have your real email address. Have they changed this? It's only a 30-day free trial now. Hang on. That's very rude if that's what they've done. Well, they do have a free student license, so if you are a student, you can get a free license here. Again, if you're a Max or My user, or you want to be, and you are a student, so if you have a student email address, you can get a free 1-year license from Autodesk for Max and for Mari, for Maya. It looks like they have a free license for students. They must have changed it, because they used to give you a free version regardless, just off the bat. But it looks like now they might have changed it to a 30-day version, which is really annoying. They do a whole lot of different software. You see, they do Nuke and Modo, Katana. So there's a lot of different pieces of software this company do. But we're talking about Mari. That's the program I tend to use. Yeah, that's really, really annoying. It doesn't look like they give you a free version anymore. Yeah. My apologies for that. They used to, but it doesn't look like they do anymore. Unless you're a student. Bummer. Smurf says Adobe. Healthwood says LOL. Smurf says Indie. Yeah, I don't think they've even got an Indie license actually. Doesn't look like they do. See what they're charging. Maybe they reduced. Let's hope that they reduced the price of this. No, they didn't. It's always been really expensive to buy outright. Well, it looks like they have a subscription model now. What a surprise. That's probably the reason they've done away with the free version they used to give to everyone, because now they want you to subscribe. That is incredibly expensive for one piece of software every month. Sorry, Foundry, but man, that's expensive. So you can still buy it outright. You can rent it by the quarter, or you can rent it by the month. Or you can try it for 30 days for free, at least still. And if you're a student, of course, you can get a free license that way. So I probably would not spend that much a month. I think that's outrageous for one piece of software. And again, unless you're doing film quality work, you're not going to really need, unless you need really large textures, you're probably better off sticking to Substance Painter. It'll be cheaper. But if you're a studio that can make use of it, there you go. It is good software. I do use it. I haven't used it for a while because we've been working in Substance Painter for so long, doing game stuff, but there you go. How disappointing. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have an indie license, Smurfberry, which is because they want you to subscribe now by the look of it. Sniper Girl says, for gaming, 8K is enough, right? Yes, it is. 8K is more than enough. Generally, even in today's new next gen console stuff, you're not going to go bigger than 4K. I mean, it really depends on what you're doing in the game. If you're doing like mega textures or anything like that, where you have a really large texture that you stream in as you move through the landscape, but even that is not common. So I would say 4K is more than enough now for games development. 8K is more than you'll ever need. You'd want to be really careful running 8K textures in a game still, because they're going to be huge as far as size goes and memory use. So my advice would be go up to 4K, but I generally wouldn't go above 4K. Yeah, usually I wouldn't. Maybe for maybe a skybox, you might go 8K, depending on how you're doing it. If you're doing a Sky Dome or something, I'd still stick to 4K. I mean, the game that I'm working on with the game studio, we save out at 4K, but the engine automatically reduces to 2K anyway once you do an import, because that's the way we've got it set up. It doesn't do that automatically, the Unreal Engine, but that's the way we're setting it up. And you generally can't tell the difference. We did tests when we were importing our assets into the engine, and the test difference between 4K and 2K, surprisingly, is very little when you're actually moving through the environment. Some things we keep at 4K. There are options, there are certain flags you can set, they're group settings in the lodding, to tell the engine not to load down the texture size of this particular texture, if that's what you want. And we do that on some of them. So we stick to 4K generally. Most textures are in 2K range. But of course, in the menu of the game, you have the option of choosing the texture quality that you want, because Unreal, you can go all the way from low all the way up to cinematic view. All of those things load the textures and the model, the textures, the models, the draw distance, all of that gets reduced the further down you go, and you have access to that in the menu of the game anyway. So if you want to push it to the max, you can do that. If you've got a graphics card that might not be quite as strong, then you can knock it down in the game menu to low. Although low is not going to look great, I'll tell you now, because it just won't. But hey, at least maybe if you've got a really bad graphics card, it'll at least let you play the game. Yura says they have a free 30-day trial version. Yeah, I know, of Mari. Stream's fine. Good to hear. Well, I've gone from 100 megabits to a gigabit, so it should be better, but you just never know with the national broadband network in this country and the potato internet we usually have in Australia, what's going to happen. Good to see that everything seems fine. Sniper Girl says, think this might be it? Oh, maybe. Let's have a look. For non-commercial use of... Oh, that could be it. Yeah, it was a non-commercial use. You could be right. Let me check that. Because I know that there was a reduction in how much you could... Yeah, thank you, Sniper Girl. This is exactly the one I was talking about. Yeah, it's non-commercial, so basically you can't use it to make anything you want to sell, but it's completely functional as far as I know, unless I've changed it. Why do they not have that up here with the main info? So non-commercial, export texture resolution yet 4K, that's what I thought. So you can't export more than 4K in size, which is more than enough if you're making a game anyway. But if you're making a game, because this is non-commercial, you really should not be using it, because games are commercial. You're limited in the export formats, but they still give you a huge range here. I mean, I generally save that in PNG format for games anyway. PNG or Targa. You can't use Python scripting, but again, that's probably not going to be a big deal if you're an indie person. A limit of 6 UV texture packages per object. So 6 UDIMs per object, which again is more than enough probably. You can work at a maximum of 5 objects at once. So there you go. And from Mari version 4 onwards, the non-commercial version has full node graph access. So it does have a node graph as well, which is very useful in Mari. So there you go. If you want to check it out and you don't want to try the free 30-day version, so you want to install a version that won't expire, download this non-commercial version and play around with it. But do bear those restrictions that you can only export up to 4K, whereas in the full version there is no limit. Thank you, Sniper Girl. I knew that there was a version. It would surprise me they'd done away with it. It surprises me it's not up here in the main product info section, but anyway. Euro says subscriptions are a big joke, as hire purchase agreements are a big as they are. I don't like the subscription model that software uses nowadays. It's just terrible. You never own it. Once you stop paying a subscription, you can't use your software anymore. I mean, so you got to, do it. You got to subscribe forever if you want to keep using your software. I don't like that. They get more money that way. That's the reason they do it. Because Macs was the same. You used to be able to buy Macs outright. But you can't do that now. You got to subscribe to Autodesk. You can buy like a yearly license, but it's still virtually a subscription. And remember too, if you are an indie developer, you can buy Macs for like, I think it's $250 US. That'll give you a year's license. So if you do want to use Macs or Maya, I'm assuming they probably do the same thing for, although don't quote me on Maya. I know with Macs you can. So $250 US for a year's license of Macs for an indie license, so you can make stuff commercially. You can rent, of course, monthly, but I wouldn't advise that. And if you are a student, then you can use the software. They'll give you a free 1-year license, student license, to use the software, and it's completely fully functional. There are no restrictions on the student version. So bear that in mind if you are a student and you want to learn Macs or Maya. Euro says 4K is plenty for most games, even 2K. If it's a first-person type game, you'd want everything close to the player camera or anything the player looks at for game progression to have higher res textures for those. Yeah, and again, that's why the game that we're making with the game studio, it's a first-person perspective, and we use 4K and 2K textures, which we find more than enough. So you are correct, Euro. If it's a third-person camera game, you can generally get away with a lower resolution texture because the camera is much further away from the object. But with first-person, of course, because you can walk right up to a wall, you want to make sure the wall texture isn't too low. Sniper Girl says, for the gas station, I'm looking at trying a technique they used with Battlefront 2. With that game, the diffuse textures were lower resolution than the normal map, and they look great in game. You couldn't tell. Okay, I've not actually tried that. To go with a lower diffuse than the normal map. I have to do some experimentation with that, check that out. Because normally I would have gone the other way. I would have gone with a high resolution diffuse and a lower resolution normal. Yeah, I'll be interested to see, do a comparison. So it's interesting, Sniper Girl. Smurfberry says Battlefront's environment kits were sick. Sniper Girl says, should see the dev talk on it. It's amazing. I will look that up, actually. I will. That's interesting. Smurf says, I'm pretty sure I linked that dev talk in the tutorial section. I'll have a look. Thank you, Smurfberry, if you did. Or you did. I don't think I did. Maybe Sniper Girl did. Sniper Girl says, I know I did as well. Okay. At least once. I'll check that out. I should check out the tutorial section myself on my Discord more often. Smurf says, I'm pretending it was my idea then. Sniper Girl says, found it when I was first learning photogrammetry. They talked about camera settings and such that they'd use. Copy and save. Well, we don't have to save because I haven't done anything yet, but I will have a copy. 25 minutes into my stream and I have done nothing except talk because that's what I do best. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, buddy. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're well. Euro says no point saving, he's not done anything. Sniper Girl says the Euro isn't that normal. Oh, you didn't miss anything apart from me talking non-stop for 25 minutes, as usual, Sniper Echo. Smoke says if you want to watch it, it's September 2019 in the tutorial channel. So there you go. Go to the Build Us 3D Discord server. Go to the sub channel called Tutorials and Tips, and it's in there if you guys want to check it out. I'll check it out myself after the stream because I'm interested. Alfwood says nothing yet. Phil's still doing his intro chat. You're asking Sniper Echo, did you get your PC bits yet? Sniper says to Hellforge and Euro, Sniper, hello. Yeah, did you get your bits yet for your PC? I think Sniper Echo said he's going to hold off for a little while because everything's so hard to get at the moment. Anyway, let me do some work here. The kitchen. Before we jump into doing the kitchen, let's jump into Substance Painter so that I can talk about some changes I've made to the textures in the kitchen. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I've been working on, I'm working on the crypt for the game. So in a section of the landscape, you come across this Gothic crypt, and this is like the decorative thing that sits on top of the, what do they call that thing? That tomb thingy? You know, those rectangular tombs, sarcophagus that you put coffins in the middle of this Gothic crypt is going to be one of those stone rectangular coffin things. Sarcophagus, yes, sarcophagus. And this is a model that I'm working on for the top of that sarcophagus. You're going to have to find an object that you place in between his hands here to trigger something in the game. I was working on it actually before I started the stream, so that's why it's still open here in Substance Painter. But then I thought, well, maybe you guys might want to check it out anyway. So all modelled by hand. There's no photogrammetry or anything here, so all of the cloth and stuff was all modelled by hand. Sniper Echo says, nah, I gave up on it after the last fall. He's talking about getting his PC parts. Yeah, because it's hard to get anything in it at the moment in technology, computer chips, computer graphics cards. They're all pretty much non-existent. Sniper Echo says, that's the one. Yes, sarcophagus. Sniper says to Sniper, I'm good, thanks. How are you? Yura says, I popped my new SSDs in this rig over the weekend. I cheated and just cloned my OS and app drive onto them rather than a reinstall. Well, that's one way to go. I always like to do a fresh reinstall of Windows because it just feels faster when you do a fresh install of Windows. Cloning, it's fine. Windows can work its licensing out. Actually, it probably won't even change it if you're not changing your motherboard. So, yeah. That's certainly a way to go. Much easier and quicker than reinstalling everything, that's for sure. Because when I built the new PC here, it took me like days and days to reinstall everything, and I still don't have it all reinstalled. Like I still don't have V-Ray reinstalled in Macs, so there's still bits and pieces. Occasionally, I think I just want to load up this program and do this bit of work. Then I realise I haven't installed that new piece of software again in the new rig. So, sounds like I need some coffee. Yes, I think I do. I always need coffee. Sniper Girl says, to make it easier for you, reposting the video and where to start watching for the texture example they did. Thank you, Sniper Girl. Do that. That would be cool. Yuri says, I'll reinstall in summer when I take a vacation. Okay, fair enough. Because, you know, we can't have that PC down for days and not being able to use it, particularly if we've got work on. Helpwood says, I'm more often than not, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not in public when I'm wrong. Sniper says, I bought a 3900X, now I just need all the parts. So you got the CPU, but you don't have the parts to put it in. Well, listen, that's, you know, at least you got the 3900. Because CPUs are hard to come by at the moment, particularly AMD ones. Yuri says, nice. Smurf says, well, minus the GPU, I've got a spare 980 Ti, that will do for now. Yuri says, welcome to the 12 core 24 thread club. Sniper Echo, yes, 12 cores, 24 threads, sweet. Sniper Echo says to Smokeberry, fingers crossed. Sniper Echo also says, I cloned my system once I have it set up and I can reinstall it inside 20 minutes. I do the same. What I do is I do a fresh install of Windows. I update all of the drive, you know, I do all the updates. Before I install any software, I make a backup of that clean install. And then I install all of my software, and then I make another backup, separate backup of the new install with all of the software installed. So if I ever need to go back, I can reinstall just the operating system. So yeah, I keep a backup of just the fresh install of the operating system, and another backup then of a fresh install of the operating system with the software. And then of course I have my normal backups that I do every day, incremental backups, general backups that I do on the system. So that sounds like a good plan, Sniper Echo. Sniper Girl says, we'll install Windows again whenever I get to be able to build a computer. Yeah, everybody, no one can buy parts. It's just terrible at the moment. I've never seen anything like it. There's part shortages. It's terrible. Sniper Echo says, I can get the system done in less time than it takes me to download a game. Yeah, Sniper Girl says, love the part shortage, don't we all? Nero says, yeah, I'll probably take an image and I can slipstream patches into it when I do a reinstall. Sniper Echo says to Euro, yeah, it's honestly the easier and fastest way. Smurfberry says, I'm not looking forward to reinstalling everything. No, never, it's a pain. It's a major pain. Sniper Girl says, but it does make it feel faster. A fresh install of the operating system, I know it's probably just, it's probably not, but it feels snappier and faster. Sniper Girl says, posted the link at the time to start watching. They show an example of a rock with a diffuse at 1K and a normal at 4K. And compare it with a 4K diffuse and a normal at 4K, and they look the same. I'll check that out. I will check that out after the stream, Sniper Girl. And if you guys want to check it out, jump on the Discord server. Smurfberry says, I've heard there might be enterprise ways of taking an existing install and making it generic to create a disk image that can be installed on any machine, but I need to look into it. Well, with Windows 10, even if you do a backup on your current motherboard, say, and you try then to re-image it onto a new motherboard, Windows is smart enough now because it ties the license to your account. I mean, this is assuming you log into Windows with a Microsoft account, not doing a normal local login. So long as you log in with your account, then Windows ties the license to the motherboard. So when you re-image your Windows 10 to a new motherboard, Windows is smart enough to know, and it will reinstall the drivers and it'll fix itself up, but you won't be validated. The operating system won't be validated. But you can still get it validated, but it means you will have to call. There'll be a number. It'll come up and say, call its number. Call the number, and you'll get a new code to reactivate Windows on the new hardware. You probably have to explain to the Microsoft person what happened. Like, say, you generally say, well, my motherboard died and I had to replace it. And they'll give you and then you can reactivate the operating system. But the operating system is smart enough now, Windows 10, to know that the hardware has changed, and it will download the new drivers for the new hardware, and everything should be fine. But it won't be activated. But it's pretty easy to get it reactivated. So, thank you, Hellforge. There's the Discord link right there if you want to join the Discord or check out what Sniper Girl's talking about, which I'll be watching after the stream. Euro says it's a 50-50 sometimes, depends on the gap between reinstalls. MS releases updated ISOs all the time, so you don't have to worry about all the update garbage. Yeah, because there's that tool you can download from Microsoft, the Creator tool. You download that and it automatically creates a USB thumb drive for you, or a DVD disc if you want to do it that way. If you're old school, I'd advise doing it on a USB drive to do an install. It creates it automatically for you. Downloads the ISO and copies it to the USB. It's all really simple. They make it as simple as possible now, Microsoft. Sniper Echo says, who am I kidding? I can reinstall the system in less time than it takes me to get a cup of tea sorted. Smurfberry says, Microsoft accounts can burn in hell. Yeah, look, I know not everyone likes a Microsoft account. They're all worried about the tracking and telemetry and all that sort of stuff, but be worried about it if you want to, but I'm not worried about it. But a lot of people don't like to use a Microsoft account to log into their operating system. I get that. They want a local account. Hellford says, please don't burn in me. Smurfberry says, but they don't need the account to fingerprint your hardware. No, they don't. Smurfberry says, and I'm not trying to sneak around that, but I bought a new Windows 10 license for the new machine. Fine. But they will do it. I mean, like I said, if you explain to them that your old motherboard died and you had to replace it, they'll reactivate your license for you. They're pretty good. They want you to use Windows 10. They want you to. Remember too that if you have a Windows 7 key, you can use that to install Windows 10 still. Microsoft said a couple of years ago that they were stopping the free upgrade version from Windows 7 to Windows 10, but it's still free. You can still do it. So if you do have a Windows 7 key, you can upgrade to Windows 10 for free because they want you on Windows 10. Yuri says, my Microsoft account has less OneDrive space than my Hotmail account from eons ago. MS is 5 gig, Hotmail is 15 gig. Are you sure it's only 5 gig? I'm pretty sure I got 15 gig, or maybe I'm getting confused with Google. I think Google gives you 15 gig for free, yeah. Because I have a Google Drive thingy as well. Sniper Girl says, I disabled tracking and Cortana. I don't use Cortana either because my microphone is actually on my stream machine, not attached to my main machine. And even on my stream machine, I don't use Cortana either. No one uses Cortana. I don't know when Microsoft created Cortana. No one uses it. Sniper Echo says, you guys will be glad to know I figured out my IK issues. Oh, good. Yes, because you were having those problems with the bones and stuff, weren't you? I'm glad you worked it out. What was the problem, Sniper Echo? I'm just curious. Smurfery says that's called lying, Phil. Well, no. Is it though? If you've swapped out your motherboard, it's not like you're going to be using your old machine. Now, look, you can't do that. If you can't call up and say, this is my Windows key. I need it reactivated on the new motherboard. If you're still using the old computer, because you can't have two activations on the same key. So that's not what I'm suggesting you try and do, because it won't work anyway. But regardless of that, you can still do it for free if you have a Windows 7 key. And you don't really even need to activate Windows 10. It's fully functional. The only thing that you can't do if you don't activate it is you can't personalize it. So you can't change the colors in the start menu and all that sort of jazz, but some people don't do that anyway, in which case you don't even need to activate it. You will get a watermark down in the corner of the screen that will say Windows isn't activated, but you don't even need to activate it, really. I would never advise you guys to lie. I do not suggest you guys lie. Maybe says I'm keeping both computers. Oh, you can't do that then. If you're going to keep both computers, well then you can't do that, because one will be deactivated if you try and do that. So you will need a new license. Sniper Echo says, I haven't figured out why it's happening or how to fix it yet, but by God, I have figured out what is happening. Oh, well, that's good. That's 50% of the way there. You call that a win? I call that a win too. You got to take the wins when you can get them and where you can get them, Sniper Echo. So I agree. Leave me be, he says. Sniper Echo says, much appreciated. Sniper Girl says, think Phil will work. Yes, I will do some work. Okay. So yes, this is the thing that's going to go on the top of the sarcophagus in the crypt. But we're working on the kitchen, so we're going to open up the kitchen. No, I don't need to save that. I've already saved it. Sniper Echo says, no chance to Phil doing any work. Smurf says, $5 says no. You just lost $5. Healthwood says, don't jinx it and remind him. Healthwood says, I, for one, enjoy another one of these chat streams. Okay, so I decided I'm just going to turn off a couple of the layers here so you can see what I've done and what I've changed, all right? So basically what I did was, remember the kitchen cabinets, we'd made them pretty much white. They were like a painted wood, but I thought that they looked just too boring. So what I've done is I've added a bit more interest to it. Let me just let me go back to the way we were. And Phil can't find the way we... Why can't I find the way we were? Oh, okay. But you know what it was, because the doors are separate. That's what's going on here. It's what's confusing me. So anyway, what I've done is I've added just a bit more interest to the cupboard doors by throwing down a texture that has the wooden planks look to it, just to make the cabinets look a little bit more interesting. Oh, come on, don't do this. So yeah, instead of it being all white, I've added a wood texture. I've added a little bit more dirt in the corners, and I've added this texture that has this normal map, so it looks like it's made of planks of wood. I just thought it made everything look a little bit more interesting, but I am still keeping the top that white, that plain white, because I like the distinction between the cabinets and the top sections. It should look interesting when it goes in the kitchen itself. And remember, these bits here are going to be glass, so that's why they're not textured up. But I'm glad you enjoyed the chat streams, Hellforge. We do have, like I said, we have Phil Does Chat once a month at the end of every month. So, apart from normal streams where I chat all the time anyway. Sniper Girls should I no issue with using 6K point? Oh no, what? I haven't noticed. Thank you for hosting the channel, Hellforge, and thank you for subscribing again, Sniper Girl. You've been subbed for 25 months. Over 2 years. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Sniper Girl, for the subscription. The over 2 year subscription to my channel. I really do appreciate it. So thank you. Smurf says, I'm already using my Windows 7 key. Okay, Hellforge, you can't use it again then. Hellforge says, I read that as 6K potatoes. she's threatening to silence me, I think. Sniper Echo says, I'm using 3D Studio Max. That's good. I love Max. How did that come up though? Who asked you what you were using? I thought you were using Blender. Did you switch from Blender, Sniper Echo, to Max? Euro says, Windows 10 Pro OEM keys are cheap anyway, less than 20 bucks. Yeah, you got to be careful with those. Look, I'm not saying don't buy them. I'm just saying be careful with some of those keys because they're volume license keys. They're really not supposed to be sold that way, and you do risk Microsoft deactivating the license at any time. It's unlikely, but they could. Simply because, yeah, they're volume license keys. They're really not meant to be sold separately. A lot of people buy them though, I mean, you know. So you are correct, Euro. You can get it for 20 bucks. You can get it for 5 bucks if you really look hard enough. Sniper says, yep. Euro says, Sniper Echo has seen the light and is using Max. Cool. Sniper Echo says, I stray over to the corporate dark side every now and then. Again, Blender is completely free 3D software, so if you do want to get into 3D and you don't want to spend any money, and you're not a student, so you can't get a free license from Autodesk, download and use Blender because Blender's completely free. And we don't play favorites for 3D software on my channel. They're all really good now. So regardless of which one you use, whether it's Cinema 4D or whether it's Max or Maya or Blender or whatever, they're all really good now. Sniper Girl says, did he lose? He did lose the 5 bucks, although I haven't actually done any work yet, have I? So maybe he didn't lose the 5 buck bet. Yuri says he's doing bot things, leave him be. Sniper Echo says, I see how it is. Hey Nightbot. Hi Nightbot. What are you trying to do with Nightbot? That bot's got a mind of its own, that little Nightbot. Yes, I made those changes just to add a bit more interest to the kitchen cabinets. I believe I've already exported this, and I believe, yeah, I've already made a smart material of this as well, so that we can texture up the rest of the cabinets using the smart material we have made from this one. Did I not make a smart material of this though? Wait, Bill's getting confused. Bill's getting confused. I don't think I've made a smart material of the cabinet. I made a smart material of the main part, but I don't think I've done one of the doors by the look of it. Let me just double check. Let's have a look at this one on the end. Because we need to make a smart material so we can retexture the rest of the kitchen cabinet much more easily. No, I did. I've called one My Kitchen Doors and one My Gold Trimming. And I have to apply both. The gold trimming one is for the I was going to say for the handles, but I don't think it is. No, it's not. Kitchen doors. Gold trimming. Just want to make sure I don't have... okay. I think we're right. I'm probably going to get... because it's been a week since I worked on this, so I'm getting a bit confused. Helpwood says, I threw that host while you still had the countdown doing. I was working on some weapons. So it takes me a while to catch up with everything. I've got so many screens I've got to look at here. Because it took me a while to notice Sniper Girl had resubbed as well. So I do appreciate the hosting, guys. So if you guys want to host the channel, go right ahead. I do appreciate that. And I do appreciate the subs, of course, as well. Sniper Girl says, and I resubbed the same time too. He just didn't notice. I know. It takes me forever. Sniper Echo says to Hellforge, apologies. I don't know if I said it, if I said I was back or not, but the lurk was on. Every now and then I jumped into Max for some fun. Now again, guys, too, I noticed you were streaming this morning, Hellforge. Hellforge is also a Twitch streamer, so you check out his stream as well. I encourage you guys to watch him. I believe Hellforge is using Blender. Sniper Echo says you're on screen too. Euro is also a streamer, I believe, so check him out too. Smurf says, I wish you could copy paste between substance scenes. What do you mean? Because you can make smart materials out of anything you've created in Substance. What do you want to try and copy paste, Smurf? Smurf says, or between two instances of Painter running at the same time. I just do the smart material thing. If you need to make a copy of something, a texture or material anyway. But Sniper Echo says that would be handy. I agree, it would be handy, yeah. Healthwood says, how are you doing today? I'm doing really well, Healthwood. How are you doing? Thanks for asking. So the first person to ask all morning how I've been doing. I've been asking how you guys have been. I'm doing really well though. Smurfberry said, I went for a 5k walk the other day, so. Smurf says, I'm working on 2 different submarines, but I basically need the entire layer stack to be the same in both of them, which is a lot more stuff than belongs in a single smart material. You still could do it, no matter how big your stack is, you can still create a smart material out of it. I don't believe there's a limit. Well, I haven't run into one yet, and I use a lot, so layers in my smart material. Hellforge says Blender, Substance Painter, and Unreal Engine. That's what Hellforge uses, so check him out. He's a streamer as well. On Twitch, Euro says, yeah, I haven't streamed in 3D in ages though, just farting around with games mostly. Well, when Euro streams, you should check his stream out too. Hellforge says that I'm dipping my toe in Designer now and then. So Substance Designer, ooh, that's a full-on program, that one. I don't use Designer. I mean, I played around with it, but I don't use it. Snowberry says, so I ended up just swapping the model and all the baked textures with the project configuration and saved as a new Substance file. Yeah, well, of course, that is the option as well. So if you say you've textured up something and you want to duplicate that on a new object, you can always go into your project configuration and swap the model out here. You can do that. Sometimes Substance Painter gets a bit confused. 90% of the time it works, sometimes it doesn't. Helpwood says 5k, sounds like you need some copy. Did I say 5k? Yes, I always need copy. Smokeberry says, and had to swap the texture set config as well. But simply copy paste would have been much simpler. I agree. No, a copy paste between instances of the software would be very handy. As would making exporting textures higher than 8K resolution would be nice. I mean, it's not necessary, but would be nice. Sniper Echo says Substance materials are coming to Blender soon. Ah, well, of course you can use them in Max already. So you can load up your Substance materials directly in 3D Studio Max. But it's cool it's coming to Blender soon. Nero says Designer is ace. You can even texture models directly inside of it. Yeah, look, Substance Designer is a great program. It is a really full-on program though. I have played with it, but not for over a year or two now. I'm sure it's gotten much better. But it was always really a really good program. It's all node-based as well. Smurf says, yep, saving literally the entire project as a smart material would also have been simpler, but also felt like an ugly solution because I'd have to delete it anyway. That's true, but it's really simple and easy to delete, so yeah. Whatever works. 10 ways come Sunday, as we've always said, to get the same job done in 3D. Smurf says, coming in 2030, brought to you by Adobe. The copy-paste thing, yeah. Smurf says, the copy-paste and greater than 8K support, not the Blender stuff. Elfwood says, the import custom meshes and designer was the real game changer for me, since it allows me to see what I'm trying to do, instead of exporting, trying to correct and re-export again. Yeah, I can see how that would be really useful. That's why I really like, you guys know I use a program called Knald, K-N-A-L-D, to do some texturing sometimes. You can import custom meshes to that as well. It does make it much easier to work on if you can actually import the model you're working on and see what it looks like. Helpwood says, Designer is a lot closer to how I used to do materials in Blender when I first got started, so Painter is a lot weirder workflow for me. Snapdragon says, yep. Euro says, does Substance support system fonts or decals yet? Or is that in their wish list? Sniper says, Knald is nice and quick. It is. It's a really great program, Knald. K-N-A-L-D. I do recommend it if you do want to use it. I still use it all the time now. I mean, you guys know I use Substance Painter a lot. I still use Knald a lot as well. So, yeah, I don't know if the Substance Painter, I thought it supports decals, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. I thought it did. I don't tend to use decals very much in Painter, but I'm not sure about custom fonts. I don't think it does. Sniper Girl says, and he's still talking. I know. Yura says, before you had to make the custom substances per font. Healthwood says, from my understanding, you have to use Designer to create the custom font you want and export it into Painter. Okay, let me do some work. So I've got my smart materials already saved out as my kitchen doors, my gold trimming, and the main body of the kitchen cabinets are called. You see, it takes a while for Substance here because I've got a really big layer stack for the some of the textures here. It'll get there eventually. There we go. And this one's called My HIH for House on the Hollow Kitchen Cabinet. Okay. Let's jump back into Max and let's export a new asset. Let's have a look at this one. I'm just going to go into isolation mode. I'm going to turn off vertex coloring because it's just getting in my way at the moment. And I'm also going to do the same thing for the drawers. Okay, we'll come to the tiles in a minute. Now I'm noticing a bit of a problem here with the normals on these drawers, as you can see. So I'm just going to go into isolation mode again. We're going to throw down a edit normal. We're going to select them, and we're going to break them, and we're going to collapse the stack. And that fixes that problem up. We'll do the same for this drawer over here. It's basically a smoothing group problem, and breaking the normals fixes the smoothing, if you're wondering. So edit normals, break the normals, collapse the stack. You have to be careful breaking the normals on something that's not flat though. Just be wary of that. Everything else looks okay, so that's good. I have now, because we want to export this as one object, including the drawers, just for texturing, so we can get a better idea what it looks like. I do have to make sure that these are the materials we've assigned to these are correct. So I'm going to have to go into my material editor. I'm just going to move these ones out of the way. And we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Remember, the drawers are going to be being kept separate because they're going to be physics objects in the game so that the player can open and close them. But for the sake of painting it in Substance Painter, we're going to treat it as one model. Nobody says it's some stuff like that, little things that would be huge quality of life improvements that don't get implemented, that make me no longer view Substance Devs as caring about users. Well, Adobe don't care about you. They only care about your wallet. They don't care. They don't care. Adobe are notorious for not caring. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, they make good software. Well, they buy companies who have made good software, let's put it that way. So you don't have a choice. Helpful says, is Sniper Girl not? Yes, Sniper Girl says, in 5 minutes I will do it. We'll be in an hour. Mercury says, they'll get around to it never because they already have your money. That's right. Hira says, yeah, the font thing has been voted top of the most requested features since before Algorithmic sold out to Adobe. Smurf says Algorithmic was like this before Adobe bought them. So really they were a match made in heaven. Helpwood says, jokes on Adobe, I don't have any money. Android Lust, he's not in the chat today. Surprising. I hope he's alright. Yeah, no, Adobe don't care. As long as they get your money, they don't care. Okay, so we're going to call this one the same as the model. So this texture is going to be called that, kitchen bottom right. And we're going to assign that to that. And then we're going to go through starting up here. This is kitchen bottom right underscore DB, which will be this one. And we're going to assign the texture to that. And this one is going to be called underscore DA. My apologies if you hear that siren going in the background. Let's assign the material to that. And this one's going to be DC. You guys make that chat go while I'm working to stop me from working, don't you? Let's assign the material to that. I've got to concentrate here, otherwise I'll mess myself up. This one's DO. That's the wrong button. This one's DO. Which is this one. Even when I do concentrate, I still mess myself up. Let's assign the material to that one. This one is DE. Let's assign the material to that. And the final one is DF by the look of it. And let's assign the material to that. Good. Now I can look at the chat. Yura says, the only Adobe software I have installed now is Substance. I did Photoshop at the start of last year. I couldn't live without Photoshop. I use it all the time. There's the same with After Effects and Premiere. I use those all the time as well. Android Lust. Android Lust, there you are. I was just talking about you, saying I hadn't seen you in chat. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope everything's going good for you. You literally just got in once you said I wasn't here. It's good to see you, Android Lust. Android Lust says, Phil summoned me. That's right. Hey to you as well. Sniper Girl says he's working, dies from shock. Smurf says, whoop whoop. Hero says, is the Android Lust siren. Elfwood says, it's the sound of the police. Smurfberry says, it only took an hour, Sniper Girl. And look, I stopped again reading the chat. I can't work and read the chat. I've got to stop while I'm reading the chat. I know I'm going to get hate on YouTube, but you know, if you're watching me on YouTube and you don't like me talking all the time, fast forward me. You can do that on YouTube. You can't do that while I'm live. So these guys have just got to put up with it. Yes, YouTube will be pissed, Sniper Girl. That's right. Sniper Smurf says if he's not already adding a disclaimer at the start of his videos to skip to XX timestamp for real work, he needs to. Alfred says the YouTube crowd is always up in arms over something. That's true. Snapbreaker says, wait, would they be up in arms about? Because I talk too much. I've had comments on my YouTube videos that I talk too much. So I'm going to read a bit of chat, do a bit of work. Read a bit of chat, do a bit of work. So now I've selected all of those. I'm going to export those. Export selected. Oh man, I should have done something before I did that. I need to copy the name here. So this is kitchen bottom right. Take number 2. Select, 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 and export. Selected. We're going to put it into the kitchen folder, which I'm just going to have to go to because I haven't been working on the kitchen for over a week. Models, kitchen, kitchen, and we're going to save that one. Upward says, yeah, Phil spends more time talking and drinking coffee than working. Kira says, I bought the full Affinity suite or 3 apps for less than 2 months of Adobe subscription cost. Well, there you go. The Affinity suite. I'm not familiar with it, but anything that is cheaper than Adobe is always good. You guys know a lot of the software that you see me using is stuff that the studio, the Archviz studio or the game studio actually buy a license for. So I don't, it's not me spending the money, it's the studio that allow me to install the software. They pay for the license basically. So that's the reason I use them, and I use them because the studio uses them. So, but if I had to pay for it personally, then I probably would look at swapping out from Adobe as well. But I have to share projects between different people in the studio, so I need to use what they use, which is Adobe. Perpetual licenses too, Euro says. Well, that's the way to go. I mean, none of this renting your software rubbish. Typey Girl says they'd have to skip like 2/3 of the video. America says, Euro, do you like Affinity? Merp says, so you've been using Affinity for every year now? Euro says, yeah, I love them. Best decision I made. They work with alphas, different than Adobe, but that's a minor niggle. Euro says, and they run lightning fast and are great with a tablet. Well, there you go. Never heard of Affinity. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either, Sniper Girl. Euro says you can use Adobe's formats with them if you need to. Oh, that's interesting. They have their own container format as well. So you can open up a PSD file, is that what you're saying? Because that would be very handy. Let's jump back into Substance Painter. No, I don't want Katana. We're going to create a new project. Load up that. No, I've been working on books and stuff as well, models of books. Kitchen. What was it called? It was called Kitchen Bottom Right. Kitchen Bottom Right. 2K is fine. Compute tangent space. We're not going to import the camera or do an auto unwrap because we've already UV mapped it. We can discard this because I've already saved the textures out. I just loaded it up to show you guys. Okay. Now. Let us. Okay. Smurf says, I don't know, I haven't used it. At the start of the human malware last year, they had a long free trial period, but I never tried them. Euro says, yes, PSDs are supported. Well, that is really interesting. If you can load up a PSD file, then that sounds very cool. Okay, let's start with the main part of the body of the kitchen itself. I'm going to go into my smart materials. I'm going to filter by the word my, because they're the ones that I've made. And we're going to try and remember what we called everything again. Should have the word kitchen in it. I know that much. So we got my kitchen doors. I think one was called my HIH kitchen from memory. Yeah, this is my HOH kitchen cabinet. Let's try that one. Let's see if I've got the right one or not. Come on. You can do it, Substance Panic. Come on. Good excuse for a coffee. Waiting for the program. Let me just remove this blank layer. Let's make sure we're not doing a color selection. I don't think we are. Well, we're not masking by color selection. That's what I'm checking for. Yeah, we're masking by color selection here. So let's pick... I know, I forgot to bake them out, didn't I? Oh, man. Let's bake them out. That would help. We're going to use the low poly as the high poly, and we're going to change the ID map to vertex color on all of these materials. I've been watching a let's play of a game called Days Gone. Interesting game. I mean, it's a bit cringeworthy. Some of the dialogue in it's pretty bad. The environment's interesting that they made for the game though. Like, they really nice texturing work. Just going off tangent a little bit here while I'm doing this. Yeah, interesting looking game. Let's bake everything. The environments are strange though. Like, they did a nice job. The trees and stuff are really nicely done. I just felt that some of the landscape looked a bit bland and a bit bare. Maybe that was a design choice, or maybe it was performance reasons they decided to do that, but yeah. The reason I bring it up is because I thought to myself, oh, I wouldn't mind playing it, but it's only a PS4 game, or a PS5, PS4 I think. But they are releasing it on Steam for the PC at the in spring, so in a few months' time. Why is that? I'm just looking at my ID mask here. It does not look like it brought the ID map in properly for some reason. Again, let's double check that we've actually got the right selection. Kitchen bottom right, vertex color, so that should be correct. Oh, there we go. It just needed to refresh. Right. So that's the main kitchen cabinet and the cabinet top, which we are going to swap out because we don't want this to be white. I'm thinking a marble or something here. We could make it white, but I think a marble. Contigi! Hey Contigi! Sorry, I've been so caught up in what I'm doing. It's good to see you, Contigi. I hope you're well. And there's the program Affinity Smurf. We just put a link in chat if you want to check it out. Smurf says, I've never had them in the back of my mind but I haven't gotten around to it. I have had them in the back of my mind. Maybe I'll give it a try with this new computer. Yura says, I use Designer quite a bit for web stuff since it natively supports vector imagery. Well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of using Designer for web stuff. It's good to see you, Contigi. Sniper Girl says, hello to Contigi. Smurf says, nice opportunity for a clean break. Android Lost says, hey. Contigi says, good, I got the vaccine. Oh, you got the vaccine this morning. So I'm waiting to see if all the neat shit that's going to happen afterwards. Which vaccine did you get? Do you know? Was it the Pfizer one, the AstraZeneca one? There's 3 or 4 of them now, I think. Johnson & Johnson, I think they have one too. Just curious, in Australia, we have 2 at the moment. One's the Pfizer one, but most people are going to get the AstraZeneca one. But they haven't started rolling that out to the general population here yet. Only to healthcare workers and stuff at the moment in Australia. So, and I'm assuming this is a 2-dose one, Contigi, not, you get 1 dose and then 6 or 12 weeks later you get the second one. Good on you though, Contigi. Because remember guys, if we don't get vaccinated, then, the best... I know a lot of people are a bit hesitant or worried about getting vaccinated, but you shouldn't be. They've done a lot of tests and a lot of trials. So, and if you get vaccinated, it means you're much, you won't, the risk of you going into hospital and possibly dying is much, much lower. So vaccination's a good thing. So good on you, Kentucky. Android Lost says, Days Gone, is that yeah, it is a zombie game, Android Lost. You're on a motorcycle, and pretty much you're killing different factions of humans and zombies, pretty much. It was nicely done. Like I said, I've been watching a Let's Play of this guy playing it on a PS4. And the environment, the texturing work is nice, really lovely. The game looks like it'll be fun. Yeah, it just, the environment, the actual landscape itself looked a bit barren. Unless that was a design choice that they made. I don't know. It looked a little empty to me. Anyway. Halford says, yeah, with a motorcycle is the main thing to travel around in. Yep. Halford says, it's been a hot minute since I saw it. Android Lost says, didn't know they're releasing it on Steam. I did hear it was a buggy mess on release, but a lot of games suffer from that. Well, I've noticed this guy, when he does the Let's Play, there's a lot of texture pop in and lodding and stuff popping in and out. So, and I've noticed his game actually crashed a couple of times while he's played it. This is on YouTube, so it's pre-recorded, but I've noticed he didn't edit the crashes out. He left them in. So yeah, it looked like it was pretty buggy. But they are releasing it on the PC in a few months' time, apparently. So hopefully it will be less buggy. Hopefully. Yura says, Affinity Designer, not Substance. Oh, Affinity Designer, okay. Kentucky says, you got the Moderna one. Okay. We're not getting offered that one here in Australia. We're only getting offered the Pfizer one or the AstraZeneca one. Kentucky says, said Pfizer on this slip, but when I got there, they said Moderna. Okay. Kentucky says, I hope they don't get me with Pfizer one for the second shot. But if they do, I might as well collect them all and get the Sputnik one. Get them all. No, don't get them all. That's dangerous. Don't do that. Stick to one. No, please make sure that they do give you the right one when you go back for your second shot. If they gave you the Moderna one and you were supposed to get the Pfizer one, make sure you get the Moderna one, the booster. You gotta get them all, a Smooper, he says, that's right. There's so many of them. Yura says, I'm on a hit list for getting the vaccine here next. They just need to get through the alphabet to my surname. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get it till like the end of the year, because they're prioritizing certain groups of people like they are in every country. So, frontline health workers, people in old people's homes, people that work in hospitals, all those people first. And then the age groups, they'll gradually go down and down from oldest to youngest. And because I'm like in the middle, it'll be a while for me before I get it. Yeah. Snappy Girl says, and he's still talking. Elwood says, I did some work. I did some work. Yes, I did do some work. So yeah, the kitchen cabinet, we could, my intention is not to have it white like this. That's for the top of the cabinets, not for the actual benches. So, I need to, so this is the white top. What are you doing? Wait a minute. Phil's got to work out what's going on. There we go. It's that one there. So the worn edging. No, I do want the worn edging, but I want to... What's going on here? Going to remove that colour selection. We're not going to be using the white top. I might... So I have a curvature map here. I think what I might do is I might group both of these together. Just so I can... no, I don't actually want to do that. No. Undo that. We can do it another way. I'm going to go into my materials. I'm going to find something for the bench top here and we'll work around it that way. Probably a marble, I was thinking. Because we do want to keep consistency, and we have used marble on a lot of the other pieces of furniture, like the bathroom, it has marble tops, so. Yura says to Sniper Girl, I linked you to a guide on color correction in Affinity Photo on the Discord. Thank you, Yura, for that. And Affinity apps are 50% off at the moment for less than 25. Is that pounds? I always get the pounds and the euro symbol mixed up. 25 euro, 25 pounds, it's cheap. Smurfberry says, I've spent more money on dumber things than that. Sniper Girl says, yeah, I saw that. If it does that color correction, color chart correction and such, then we'll need to get it. And that is a good deal if you're getting it for 50% off. And Yura says, I spent more money on Max plugins to automate repetitive repetition because I'm lazy than Affinity Photo costs. Helpwood says, I didn't know Ancient was classed as I didn't know Ancient was classed as middle-aged bracket Australia as well. You're so you get the stink eye. You get the stink eye. Ancient indeed. In before Phil Slappy says, Helpwood says, then again, considering the Queen was around when the Big Bang happened, it does bump up the average age a bit. Smurfberry says, and another thing, the fact that Substance rebuilds the thumbnails, tell me, for everything in the shelf from scratch, every time you load a program, tell me about it. I've complained about that myself, Smurf. See how it's even after it's generated them, it still loses its mind. Come on, Adobe, fix this. Cache them. They're already cached. I don't know why it has to regenerate them every time you close the program down and reopen it. It gets really annoying. I agree, Smurfberry. Really annoying. Use caches, yes. Use caches, Adobe, please. Snappy Girl says, is it good or bad thing that I have had to reset my computer a couple of times due to it running out of memory from processing scans? Well, that's a bad thing. You want to get more memory then. See, that's probably why you're using Agisoft now, aren't you, Sniper Girl? Agisoft uses much more memory than Reality Capture. So not only does Reality Capture usually process faster because it uses more of the GPU than Agisoft, it also uses less memory. So keep that in mind. And the more photos, the more memory you're going to use. So yeah, if you're taking hundreds of shots, you're going to need a bit of memory. If you're using Agisoft, Metashape. Sniper Girl says, I know that I need to update when hardware is available. Yes, don't we all know it, Hagen Tiggy. Andrew Loss says, hardware will never be available. It will be. Will never be available. Hellboy says, worth it. Sniper Girl says, yeah, using Agisoft, found that it looks better. Yeah, Agisoft seemed to be throwing... you showed me the comparisons, not last week, the week before, and I agreed that the model that Agisoft Metashape created did look better. But I think the reason that it looked better is because what Agisoft are doing is they're doing a sharpen on the texture, on the final texture map, before they apply it to the model. So I think that's why it's looking better. You could do the same thing if you used Reality Capture just by throwing a sharpen filter on the texture map, either in Photoshop or whatever image program you use. I have a feeling that's what they're doing to make it look better. They're just throwing a sharpen filter down, which is fine. I mean, it did look better. And Agisoft, you don't have to worry about, if you use it, putting a sharpen filter on your model, but I still like Reality Capture. Because it's fast. It's so fast. So what we're going to do is I want to look for something for the bench tops here. What do we got? We've got a marble. Let's throw that down. I'm just going to throw some stuff down and we can see what it looks like and see which ones we like and which ones we don't, but I am going to do a color mask. There we go. And it does actually need to be tiled a bit more, so let's do that. I don't know that I like the brown on brown. I just think that's a bit too much brown. So let's see what else we got. I decided, I think it was you, Euro, suggested maybe terracotta for the tile, for the floor, for the kitchen. I agree, and I do have a substance here that we'll use for the floor. It is a terracotta tile. I think it will look quite good. I might just, the terracotta being brown might be a bit too much brown, so I might change the color of the terracotta. But I think a terracotta floor in the kitchen would look really cool. Sniper Girl says, it's fast, but for my portfolio, I want to go with what looks better. Fair enough. I still think reality capture gives good results, but... No, Yura says, yep. Sniper Girl says, I mean, ultimately might not make a huge difference. It means I'm baking stuff down, but still, yeah. But the only reason I mention it, Sniper Girl, is because if you're running out of memory, you'll use less memory using reality capture than you will using Agisoft Metashape. So yeah, just something to think about if you do find that you're running low on memory for any photo set that you're trying to create. For any, yeah, bear that in mind. You can always use reality capture because it will use less memory. This is the tile texture. Yeah, it is. No, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid going into too much of the browns because we have so much brown already. Because we use black marble in the bathroom for the countertops, which we could do again. Black would look good. Black always looks good in a kitchen. I don't think this one will be what we want, but we will check. No, I don't like that one. Definitely not. Nope. 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 What is that? God, that's horrible. That is so horrible. Nope. Maybe if we were doing a 1950s kitchen or something, but nope. I'm just thinking a colour that might be not black. I'm thinking a blue might look interesting. These really, though, aren't completely suitable for a bench top. No. Looks like it might have to be black marble. We have green. A green could look interesting as well. I just don't like the pattern in that marble. What else we got? Sniper Girl says that's true, but resetting doesn't take long, and I've processed maybe 10 scans today, so I can't complain about having to reset. Yuri says that texture looked like 1960 wallpaper. I know, it was horrible, wasn't it? Marble is so hard to get looking right. You'll be back in a minute, Smurf? No problem. We do have a black marble material that we used for the countertops in the bathroom. And like I said, black always looks good in a kitchen. Where is my black marble? Did I make a smart material out of it? Maybe I did. Yeah, let me have a look at my smart materials. It's filtered by my again. Where are you? Where are you? My vanity. No, not the brass work. Not the cherry wood. Not the chocolate wood. Not the chrome. Marble top. We need to make sure we're picking the right colour. So, what else do we got? Let's go back into our materials. I'll keep that there and we'll see if we can do a mix. Because a granite would look good as well, actually. Generally in a kitchen bench top, sometimes you'll have wood. Sometimes you'll have like a plastic vinyl-y type thing, and sometimes you'll have granite or sometimes marble. Granite can always look quite interesting as well. Granite can be easier to work with because you don't have these large repeating patterns generally with granite. So I'm just going to look for granite and then we'll come back to marble. Granite, granite, granite. I don't have a huge selection of granite here, unfortunately. So yeah, you're less likely to notice a repeating pattern on a really large table countertop with a granite, pardon me, as opposed to a marble. Smurf says I'll be back. Maxo Friendo, hi Maxo Friendo, it's good to see you. Hope you're well. I hope you had a good weekend. Always good to see you, Maxo Friendo. We're working on the kitchen cabinets here at the moment. What you been up to? Did you have a good weekend, Maxo Friendo? Yura says, I recall a person who was building their house up here, ordered up the marble worktop, 15k, 15,000 single piece, and it broke when they installed. Oh man, that would be a nightmare to spend 15,000 and have it break. Because yeah, it can quite easily break. The reason, of course, people like to use marble and granite is because it's stone. So you can cut directly on the bench top without worrying about marking it, usually. It takes a lot to be able to mark marble and granite. Not to mention it looks nice. But breaking it, man, that would be a pain. That would be a pain. Andrew Loss says marble counters can be a bit fragile in real life. Andrew Loss, well, I wouldn't smash one with a hammer, that's for sure. Once it's, you know, don't test it like that. But when you're cutting up on it, like normally I have like a wooden, what do they call them? A wooden block that I cut things up on. But if you've got marble or granite, you can generally cut directly on the countertop without worrying about scratching it. Because they're usually coated anyway. Like they coat the stone so it doesn't absorb any liquid, because generally you have a lot of spills and stuff on countertops. And the coating helps stop any damage that you might do with a knife. Andrew Loss says, well, Euro read my mind. Euro says, they just ordered another up. Being a millionaire, it's hard work, I guess. Maxo Friend there says, great weekend, too short, isn't it? Always. It's always too short. Tell me about it. Always too short. Snowfiggirl says, that sucks. Yes, it does suck. Euro says, a chopping block. That's it. Thank you, a chopping block. Yeah, I use a wooden chopping block usually most of the time. So yeah, the granite, less noticeable than the marble. I'm just saying, we could change out the colour of the granite if we wanted to make it a little darker. Pretend the granite is not in here. We're really only concerned with the top here. I just haven't done a mask with colour selection yet. So we'll keep it there, but we'll see if we can't come up with something else. Marble. I wanted to see if we could do a mix in marble. A marble mix. No, not that one. Because if worst came to worst, we could always make one in Substance Alchemist. No. Come on, I know I've got a lot of marbles here somewhere. That's the marble we used. This is like a brown marble. I'm just going to pull this one in. Going to remove that one. I'm going to turn off the hide information. Pull up a little bit on the tiling. Oh, we might as well keep the hide on, it's really not making that much of a difference. I don't mind this marble. I might just change the colour a little bit. I might make it a little darker. And we're going to see if we can do a blend between the two marbles. So I'm just going to mask with colour selection so we're not getting distracted by everything else going on. And we're going to move this one up in the stack. And we're going to group both of these together. Again, we're going to mask with colour selection just to the top. I'm just trying to find the right spot to put this. I think we might move this down here in the stack. Hang on, let me undo that. I made a boo-boo. Let's turn those on. I'm just going to remove the granite, I think. I'll just turn it off for now. So those two are part of that one. Yep. So let's move this down here. Why are you being so difficult? No. I'm having problems finding the right layer here. That's the layer I want to get rid of right there. So we've got this marble. Which is this one here. Which means this has to maybe go down here. I wanted, I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream, but if you look at the top of the bench here, the marble, I just wanted to make sure we added some color variation to the edges just to darken it up a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see that on stream, just around the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this folder my kitchen tops, and we're going to create a smart material, unless I want to make some changes to this before I do that. I don't think I really do. I think we should be alright. We could go blacker on the top, but I don't think we need to. Android Lost says sometimes when they install the marble counters it might slightly crack a bit too, but it might not be noticeable crack unless you're really looking for it. Yura says this one clean snapped in half. Yura says that guy probably just wrote it off as a tax liability. Oh, wouldn't that be nice to be so rich you didn't care? You could spend you could waste $15,000 and not care. I can dream. Android Love says, if I ever had to carry or install a marble counter, I'd be anxious about it snapping. I wonder how or why marble became so a popular counter material. You can see it good. You were talking about the colour. I think what I might do is we might just do a bit more variation in it. So before we create a smart material out of it, I'm going to remove this layer because we're not using it. That was the other marble. So basically we have two basically we have this one here, which is this one here. Yep. So we're going to duplicate this one, and on the copy we're going to just darken it up a little bit more. I may even just pull back on the saturation a little bit. So we have a lighter version and a darker version. Again, you can see that hopefully on stream. And now what we're going to do is we're going to throw a smart material down. Smart mask, I mean. And we're going to go with the surface worn, I think. And let's just play around with our mixing a little bit. I just want to add a bit more dirt to the top of the counter, just to make it look a little bit more dirty. Because again, this is a kitchen that's been, you know, it's in a house that's 100 years old, and I don't know how often people have used the kitchen in that 100 years. Depends on how long ago the last person that was trapped in the hollow was there, I guess. So we want it to be a little dirty. Not completely clean. A little bit of dirt and grime has built up. And that's all well and good. So we have a layer now that's just adding a little bit more color variation. We might try adding just a general dirt layer as well. So, how do I want to do this? So. I think let's go to our smart materials because I do have a dirt, I believe. Yeah, there is a dirt layer I've created, so I'm just going to pull this into the stack as well. But we're going to again mask it with a color selection to the countertop. You can see the dirt when I angle it a little bit more, but that's too dirty. So I'm going to pull back. I'm just going to play with the mixing a little bit as well to see if I can't get a mix that's more interesting. And then I'm going to pull back on the mixing amount. I'm going to pull it up a little, and I'm also going to turn off the height information on this layer because we don't want to add height. And the normal I'll turn off as well. So I might even pull it back a little more. I'm going to turn off the roughness. No. No, I won't turn the roughness off. But I might change the scaling. Yeah, I think I'll turn off the grain. So I really only want the color. So if I turn it off and on, you can hopefully see on stream what that's doing. Might just pull back a little bit. I think it's still a little bit too heavy. So again, it's just adding an overall dirt layer to the top of the counter. Because the counters haven't been wiped down in 100 years. How are we going? Okay. Wow. Stream's nearly over and I haven't even finished one asset. Okay, so now we've got the countertop, so I'm going to group both of these together. And we're going to call it my kitchen countertop. So, and we're going to make a smart material. This is so when we create the other one, we won't have to mess around too much. So now let's do a filter on my, because we want to do the drawers. So which one is it? Which one is it? My kitchen countertops, my kitchen doors. Hopefully it's this one. We'll find out. Let's do this one here. I think I might have made two smart materials for the doors and I can't remember. Actually, one might be for the handles and the other one might be for the doors. That is correct. Where was the other one? My HIH. Kitchen cabinet. No. Kitchen doors. Let's also have a look at this one. One I think is for the handles and the other one is for the actual doors from memory. Yeah. Snappergirl says looks good, thanks. Snappergirl says personally would prefer something that imitates marble and not actually marble. You can actually paint. You can actually paint like normal countertops to look like marble, so that could be an option. It's obviously much cheaper as well. Snappergirl says the fake stuff can look as good as and cost less. Yeah, it can. It can look really good, the fake stuff. Save and copy, yes. Let's do a save because we haven't done a save, have we? So what are we calling this one? No, we don't want to be in leather book. We want to be in kitchen. Kitchen. Where's the kitchen? There it is. There it is. And this one is called kitchen bottom right. Now, I just need to work out what's going on here. Why do I have two kitchen doors? I can't remember which one's which. So that's a bit of a problem. Why do I have two? Let's work with this one first because the colour looks correct. I think we need to make some adjustments to the width of it to begin with because the boards are too narrow. That should be this one. We want to widen up those boards a little bit. Again, I'm holding the shift key down because sometimes these sliders can be really fiddly inside of Substance Painter. So again, if I hold the shift key down, it allows me to get much finer control. Just trying to get the boards to line up. I might just make it a little bit bigger. There is a pattern happening here that I'm not happy with. I'm just going to try and find where that pattern is. Get rid of that blank layer so I don't get confused. Where is that pattern? Very strange, I can't seem to find the pattern. It's obviously in this layer. So it's in here. I might pull that one back in. I had it turned off on the others, but just to add a little bit of dirt and grime up here in the corner. Builder's having a problem finding the pattern. There's a repeating pattern that's popping up in the texture that I don't like the look of. I just got to find out which layer it's in. Okay, it's in this layer here. I believe. Yeah. And we don't have a lot of options, unfortunately. Well, that's annoying. Maybe if I play with the dirt layer. Yeah, it's the dirt layer that's doing it. We'll turn triplanar blending on. That gives us a better pattern. Yeah, we'll go like that. That'll be good. I can't remember what I saved the smart material out for the handles was. I cannot remember. I had these two kitchen doors, so I'm wondering if this one was the handles. Although that doesn't seem right. The colour is not correct. But it could be. I don't know. Let's mask with color selection first. Let's see if that does anything to the handle. Not really. Oh, sorry. Sniper Girl says, Phil, are you going to show people's work on stream? Yes, I will. I want to show the stuff that you guys popped in the gallery because Sniper Girl has done a lot of photo scanning stuff, some photogrammetry stuff. So I guess we should do that before I close off for the day. We'll finish this tomorrow. I'm going to try and work out what smart material I'm using for my handles. But in the meantime, let's do a quick save here and we'll check out the stuff you guys posted in the Discord. Smurf says, alright, I'm back. Did Phil finalise the marble selection? I did, Smurfery. We chose this one after we dirtied it up a little bit. Smurf says, one kitchen door is from the Mirror Universe. Sniper Girl says, made a forum post on Affinity to see if there's a way to use a color correction chart. Only thing I found that talks about using a chart was from a forum post back in 2018 with somebody requesting a feature. Requires approval from moderators. Hopefully they do a good job. Yeah, the black metal handles, that's right, Android Lust. I can't remember if I saved them out as their own smart material or not. Or maybe the part of the... We'll look at it tomorrow. I think what's going on is... I think they're part of our normal kitchen door. But I think we used a color selection within our smart material, and we've got a lot of smart layers going on here, so I've got to just find the right one. So that could be the problem, but we'll look at that tomorrow. I think. Yeah, we'll look at that tomorrow. So hang on, I'm just trying to... What requires approval from moderators, Sniper Girl? What requires approval? Something in the Discord, is that what you're saying? Because aren't you a moderator on the Discord? Oh, the Affinity Forum, okay. I'm getting confused, she's confusing me. The forum post on the one program was for... Okay, fine. was getting confused. I was thinking, are you having problems being moderating on the Discord, the Phil Does 3D Discord, because you are a moderator. So you shouldn't have been having problems. I see in the tutorials tips you've got the start watching at the 20-minute mark. I'll check that out after the stream. You're quite welcome. I see that Hellforge has popped an image of the gun. I'm losing my voice. Popped an image of the gun into the Discord. Let's check that out, and then we'll check out. Android Lust has also posted an image. What's this one? I've been working on this one a little bit, but I'm debating on ditching the project, but we'll check that out too. We're going to start with the gun that Hellforge is working on. Save and copy up. We did the save. I'm losing my voice. My apologies, guys. This is... Phil is not copying his links correctly. Copy link. This is the gun Hellforge is working on. So it's still a work in progress. Looking very nice. And yeah, this is the one that I like, Hellforge, the experimental one you put in there. I like the work the distressing and dirtiness you put along through here. It's looking really, really cool. Really nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah, lovely work. Thank you. If you do want to wishlist the game you saw me working on the Kitchen 4, you can click that link. Hellforge just popped into Twitch chat. And if you want to join the Discord server, click the link that has just been popped into Twitch chat as well. But this is looking really, really nice, Hellforge. Lovely work. Beautiful texturing. Love it. Love the distressing. It's looking really cool. Smurf says, you know what this gun needs? Neon paint. I learned this from Rainbow Siege 6. It makes you more 1337. I don't know what that is. A neon skin for it. Sniper Girl says, and also COD as well. Okay, now we're going to look at... we'll just look at a couple of Sniper Girl's scans because she did so many. I'll pick the best ones that I like. So she did. She's been doing some photogrammetry work, and this is a garage door, I believe, that she's used Agisoft Metashape to actually bring in and create a 3D model out of. Yeah, I really like this. This is great. It'll make a great looking texture, Sniper Girl. There's lots of detail going on in the scan, so it's really cool. I like that very much. Sniper Girl says, yeah, part of one going to end up making a material atlas. I also really like this one, which is a scan of the pavement, I believe. Yeah. I really like that too. I really love the detail that's going on here as well. It's very cool. This is one that she's going to use under the petrol Bowsers, I believe, in the scene she's creating. Again, nice detail work. Very nice scans. And then, of course, she has the dirt and leaves piling up and things in corners that she's going to use, which is this one. Again, really, the scene's going to look really, really cool once you put all these together. It'll look really cool. Again, nice reproduction here in photogrammetry. So it looks really cool. Very nice. So are you going to reduce the, like, are you going to remove the background here and remove the bits of the foreground and just keep like the main leaf pile section that you're going to be using? I'm just curious as to how you're planning on using the model. Nothing beats photogrammetry? No, that's true, it doesn't. I love photogrammetry because you can get things looking super, super real because they are they're real. Real life things that you turn into a 3D model, so you can't get much more real than that. And it always looks really cool. Sniper Girl says, yeah, remove the background, have an alpha and bake it down to a low poly mesh. Yep, that sounds like the way to go. It'll look really cool. That'll look nice piled up in the edges of corners and things. Look cool. And I also now want to have a look at Android Lust. So what are you saying here, Android Lust? You've been working on this one a little bit, but I'm debating on ditching the project. No, don't ditch it, as Sniper Girl says. Why should you ditch it? What do we got going on here? Thicker tracer leaves, sweet car, shadows probably too light. Less opacity. Yep, I agree there. Nail color, okay. Triple S on the eyes. You want to add an ambient light, fix the door. Fix flyaways, less depth of field. I would agree, less depth of field, yep. Or maybe 2-stage depth of field, so you know, maybe you could keep the very back of it blurred, but just bring the middle ground up a little bit, less blurred, and then of course she's in full no blur in the foreground. So you know what I mean? You've got 3 layers of depth of field. That could look really cool. Yeah, no, don't give up on it. I think it'll look cool. I like the model. I like the scene as well. I think it's interesting. Sniper Girl says there's a guide on YouTube that will allow you to blend a mesh with a material onto the lower material. Makes the meshes less noticeable where one mesh begins and one ends. We're going to be using that a lot on the meshes on the ground. If you're talking about UE4 specific, Sniper Girl, we're using that in the game as well. You know, up in the attic we have those piles of dirt and rubble. We're using that method to blend those into the floorboards. So yep, we're doing that as well. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It works really well. Android Lost says just some notes, but yeah, I meant no, don't ditch it. Sniper Girl says please don't ditch it. It's looking great. I agree. It is looking great. I think I like the model. I like the scene. I think once you make some of these corrections that you put down, it'll look really cool. So yes, I agree with Sniper Girl. Please don't ditch it. Yes, UE4. Yep. Yeah, I know. Yep. So we're doing the same thing. We did the same thing with the dirt and debris piles that are up in the attic, so that they blend in with the floorboards. Yeah. Okay. So we won't judge this yet because Android Lust is still deciding what he wants to do with it. But everybody else's work has been beautiful. I love the gun. I really like the texturing and the model, the photogrammetry work you've done, Sniper Girl. Looking very cool. Remember, if you guys want to show off your work, join the Fieldhouse 3D Discord. Pop it in the gallery. If you don't want me to show it off on stream, just let me know and I won't, because I know not everybody is comfortable having their work shown on stream. And remember, all of my videos go to YouTube as well. So we're going to leave it there though for today, guys. I do want to thank you for being here and hanging out with me, and also for letting me show your work off on stream. Thank you for that. I want to thank Sniper Girl as well for the continued sub for over 2 years. I do appreciate that. I will be back on again tomorrow, of course, at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We will try and finish off this kitchen. The kitchen cabinets at least. Fingers crossed. We'll see how we go. See how much talking Phil does. Yeah, you guys, thanks for hanging out and being here. You take care, and hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.